building.
Yo, we in the house.
Yo.
This is Conversation with Jocks, where we give you positive perspectives on our daily encounters.
Yeah, this Jay.
Big O in the house.
Yo, this is C.
Welcome back to part 2 of our podcast. In this segment, we'll be diving into some important financial topics to help you make the most of your money. In segment 1, we'll explore high-yield savings accounts, finding banks with competitive interest rates, and the benefits of opening brokerage accounts. We'll also touch on the option of working with a fiduciary to guide you in your investment journey.
The questions you should be having, okay, what savings? What investment? Savings, like we talked about.
I was going to ask those questions, man, but I know you, and I know you was going to get to it. So that's why I was just letting it roll on.
And savings, and we talked about it on one of our previous episodes, saving account right now is 0.001%.
You forgot a zero.
Yeah. It's not really giving you anything. It's really pennies. You probably get 1 cent a month because they can't really give you anything lower. So, like I said before, there are other online accounts that have at least up to 4% that you should put your money into, because a lot of time we get comfortable of these corner banks because it's convenient and you can easily have access to. You can easily go in, talk to someone at the teller, and get something. But ask yourself, when's the last time you went to a bank?
I go to the bank regularly, though. I have my own business.
Okay, so you're the outlier. How about you, Jay?
I don't go as often, but I don't go that often. Yeah. I'm more so of the ATM guy.
Right.
I hit the ATM,
right,
snatch out the money that I need, or slide it in, or deposit the money that need to be deposited. Right. I don't really go inside the bank unless I really need to talk to somebody.
Right. For my personal use, I can't tell the last time. It's been over a year.
Oh, wow.
I mean, deposits, you got the mobile apps.
Right.
I go online, check my bank account online.
Right.
I don't even use cash, so I'm not going to the ATM. I mean, I really don't have the use to go into the bank. So if they offer me a low percentage for convenience for me to go to the bank, I really don't need it. I could go online, get an account with interest rate of 4%, and have way more than what they're giving me for a savings account.
Yeah. I'm backpedaling. I'm about to backpedal when you just said that about, going inside the bank. It really just hit me that the last time I have been inside a bank, I needed to pull out more money. It was a substantial amount that I needed to pull out. They obviously they're not giving me through the ATM machine. And that was like last year.
Right.
So, yeah, you're right.
Right. So there's no need to be married to these banks because they don't care for you, because they have their agenda. Take your money, invest it somewhere else, and have a bigger gain.
Make money from our money.
Yeah, because they have the wealthy mindset. They know money is used to make more money, and they're going to just use our money to do so.
Yeah, I mean, they take your money and they loan it out to other people. You know how the game go.
Yeah, give you 0.01% and charge them 10%, 12%.
Yep.
Thanks for banking with us.
Yeah. Here's this one bank, man. I don't want to call their name out, but I can't. I hate you guys. I'm just gonna say that.
And then the other thing that we put our money into it would be investments, individual brokerage accounts. You could look into stocks, and you don't really have to know much about it because there are free financial advisors, which are called fiduciaries. These advisors only get paid when you make money, and they get a percentage of that. So they know where to invest. And more so, once you understand where to invest your money, you can do it yourself. Because the main things that we invest our money in individual brokerage account would be index funds, ETFs, and these bonds that generate a dividend and have a higher yield of return.
In the second segment, we'll focus on growing your wealth and investing in yourself. We'll dive into the power of compound interest and explore different investment options.
What would you say is a good amount of money that somebody can just, let's say a beginner investor,
Okay.
right? Let me just use myself as an example. If I said, hey, C, I want to, do an investment. What is a good amount of money that I need to withdraw to put in, where I can see I'm not expecting a lucrative return,
Right.
but I don't want it to be cents on the dollar. You understand what I'm saying? More like dollars on the thousands.
Good question, because you're asking where you can put your money where it can grow over time. This is what we call compound interest, where your money will grow over time. You can place your money into a high yield savings account with about 4% annual percentage rate, or place it into a more risky account like a brokerage account, where you can invest it in an ETF index fund or a bond. These options will also generate dividends. So going back to a high yield savings account where it's 4%, with the index funds, ETFs, you can generate up to 8 to 10%. So to give you an example, if you wanted to start up with $1,000 and keep putting down $100 over a period of time, you would start generate monthly interest, which will be compounded over time. Your money's going to grow over time. You won't see a major difference until probably after 5 to 6 years. And on the 7th year, you would have a total investment value of $13,000, where you only contributed $9,400 and you profited close to $3,500. And this is all due to compound interest. Now, this is based on if you were to do it an index fund with an 8% annual rate of return. You may consider this a slow gain, but after time, you will generate more money. First thing I would say before even finding an investment, I would say first, think about what you can do. Invest in yourself, because a lot of times we have creative ideas that we don't put out there because we wait for a right time. And then if you use that money towards yourself, where you can help advance your creative platform, is an opportunity for you to make more money. So I don't know, what do you see yourself doing that is creative or something that you can say that is unique?
I mean, the trucking game.
Okay.
That's still live.
So check this out.
And wait, I'm not finished, man. I'm not finished. I got talents, man. I got
No.
talents.
But I don't want you to list your talents. You just gave me one thing. So let's say the trucking, right?
Yeah.
Do you have an advantage over individuals that are in the trucking game?
Nah, kind of, sort of. I'm younger than the average, and I've been trucking for a long time.
Right. You may offer someone who's trying to get in trucking some advice, whether you can get a social media platform, YouTube platform, and get that going to generate something. You get what I'm saying? It's like what you monopolize on what you know. Monopolize what you know and invest in you, because you are more prone to do something worthwhile when it's something that you love and something you enjoy, or something that you know about.
You mean sell my information?
Yeah.
Exactly. Your experience, your years of extensive experience.
And that can go also into the investment buckets. You don't have to also just go straight into the individual brokerage. Invest in yourself. Set that money aside to do something that you will see a return on, something you love or know about or knowledgeable about.
Oh, makes sense. But again, if I wanted to invest some money in there, how much you think is a good startup? About 500, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000.
I think it's by percentage. It's the percentage that see listed in the beginning. So you set aside a specific percentage, and let's say if it doesn't matter whether you get paid $100, you still take the 2% of that 100 and put it in the different places. Let's say the next time you get $500, it's still by percentage, and then you establish the discipline of allocating the money specifically in those places and let it grow, let it build.
Yeah, that's dead on. Because let's say you say to yourself, "Hey, I want to invest into myself, but I don't have enough money." But you take that 2% and take that $100 within 5 months, it's $500. But it could even be more, because first we're starting off low until you pay off some of your debt, and then it could come to a point where it's up to 10%. So if you're saying 10% of $5,000 a month, you're at $500 a month. So you have more to invest the things that you feel can bring forth more money. And the last thing that I say is to go into your personal self, personal care, or anything that you want. Because we said 2%, 2%. First, the 2% is investment, other 2% in savings, at least 1% for you. And this is where you have money to do whatever you want for yourself. And you can have a guilt-free spending where you're not thinking about, hey, I got to pay bills. This is just for me. Or you're not going to tell yourself that I can't do it because that money is allocated just for that.
That's what's up. I definitely appreciate you sharing with us the different strategies we can use to begin to manifest that wealthy mindset. I remember when my daughter graduated high school, I was getting her a bank account, and we went to the bank account, and they were telling us, "Oh, in your bank account, we're gonna take this amount of money from you, and you get to go to the movies, and you could fill up your popcorn." And I'm saying, wait a minute, no, we don't want that service.
Right.
And the banker was like, "No, this is what comes with it." And I asked her if we made a significant amount of money, would we still have to do this? And she said no. So what I understood from that experience is that they really go after people with this mindset, and they really basically steal from the poor.
Yeah.
Or the poor man's mindset.
Yeah, they take advantage of situations. I remember something real familiar or something similar. There was a loan, let's say 20,000. I'm just throwing out numbers. 20,000, and you're paying, let's say, $1,000 a month on top of it. So you're hitting your principal and you're hitting your interest, and then you come to the lender and they offer you something else. They say, "Hey, I know you got 20,000. You can use more money as additional $10,000." Or they'll tell you something like, "Hey, you know what? You're paying $1,000. We can get you down to $700 a month." That's way better than $1,000 a month.
Right.
And they said, "Okay, then what's the catch?" There's no catch. You're paying $700. Okay, then if you're smart enough, you ask intelligent questions. Okay, so right now my loan is $20,000. I'm already 3 years into it. Will it still be, let's say, 7 years left if it's a 10-year loan? I said, "Oh, no, it's going to start back at 10 years. So what happened to the other 3 years?" "Oh, no, don't worry. You're only paying $700 a month versus $1,000.
Got him.
Oh, they did more than get you, man.
Right. But they presented something that you wanted to hear, a lower monthly payment. Not
For more years.
Right.
Which you still going to turn around and end up paying more at the end of it anyway.
Exactly.
So really, they not doing you no favors.
Right. In any situation, you had to ask what's in it for them. And that's where you have to ask more detailed questions.
Makes sense.
Because if you have a poor man mindset, I have $300 that's freed up that I could use for me.
I don't know. Hey, yes, listen, that was a good one. I don't know if I can say names of where I heard this information, but there was a guy, he didn't have that much money, but he was doing things. He was making power moves. So he went to a company and the company said, hey, I'll give you $1 million for that. And he looked at the guy and he said, I'll get back to you. He walked outside. He was with his brother, and his brother, they don't have money. His brother's looking at him like, yo, they just offered us $1 million. They offered us $1 million. Why we should be taking that? We should be taking it.
Right.
And he looked at his brother and he said, "You're right. That sound good, but if he offered me $1 million, it got to be worth at least 10."
Wow.
And this dude now, I want to say he's a billionaire. I'm not 100% certain, but he paid.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? And
Gotta understand the game.
he had that mindset. He had that mindset from, coming up. You know what I mean?
Right.
And he turned around and he didn't even sell. That was to the company that was offering him $1 million.
Wow.
He didn't even sell to them. He kept it. Because he knew they was offering him $1 million. He knew that it was going to be worth more.
Right.
So he just held on to it, and that's why he's where he's at right now. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's A1, man. That's A1.
You heard it here.
Right.
In this segment, we'll tackle strategies for debt repayment and expense minimization. We'll discuss prioritizing smaller bills to pay them off quickly and freeing up cash to tackle larger debt. We'll also provide practical tips for minimizing expenses, such as cutting back on discretionary spending and eliminating unnecessary services.
Now going back to what we do to make our life closer to our vision, we talked about the list. We talked about the list of things that are our expenses. I would say first look at the things that are considered debt and that we're trying to pay off. You first have to have a mindset of what do I do or how do I tackle it? How do you normally tackle things that you try to pay off?
The way I tackle bills that need to be paid off, it really depends. It really depends what the bill is.
So it's like let's say credit card, loans, or things that are only there because you're just paying it off. It's not like a service or let's say or a water bill or electric bill, something that you trying to keep paying until you get off.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll tell you mine, and I definitely want to hear yours. See,
Wait, but I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. But to me, that kind of depends on how much it is.
Right. Okay.
Because if you're talking about a mortgage, a house,
Mortgage,
right?
student loan,
Car note.
car note.
You know what I mean? Compared to a credit card bill that, I could run that up. I'll run that up. And then at the end of the month, I'll just pay it all off rather than making down payments on it, making the monthly payments.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I think it does depend on the size of what you're trying to pay back.
You hit on a good point.
that makes sense. Mine's a little bit different. So of course, my major bills is of course direct deposit, and the most, the money that I spend, I don't spend my money. I spend other people's money. I use credit cards, and I throughout the month, every week, I update my checkbook. So I'll pay back those credit cards, and by the time the month is over, I'm all paid off, and I start again for the next month.
Good strategy. You guys both hit on good points. And to piggyback on what Jay said, when you're paying off debt, you first find the lowest amount. And that's where you go and try to eliminate how much you owe from the highest to lowest, you look at the lowest and you pay that off. The rest, you just make minimum payments towards. So you make minimum payments so you can have extra cash to pay off the smaller debt. And once that's eliminated, you find out what's your next smallest debt. Let's say if your minimum payment for a student loan is what? It all depends on your loan. I'm just throwing out numbers. You can, let's say $300. And then you say, you know what? I'm going to be good. I'm going to give it $350. You're not really touching it. But if you take the extra $50 towards your lower debt, you can knock off your lowest debt and free up more cash towards something else.
So you recommend paying a little bit more on debt to knock it off quicker, or to use that extra money to invest in yourself?
No, I'm talking about when you first tackling bill, because right now we're starting off at a low way to give ourselves at 2%, and that's real low. We're starting off real low. The only reason why we're starting off low because you have debt.
Yeah, what I think he was getting at is, if you have, let's say, you owe your mortgage, your car note, and you got, let's say, 4 credit cards, right?
Right.
And obviously, you're not paying off your house in no quick swoop unless you hit the lottery.
Right.
You're not paying off your car note in no quick swoop unless you hit the lottery, right? And then you got these 4 or 5 credit cards that you got. They may not be maxed out, but they're up.
Okay.
And let's say you got one credit card that's $10,000 cap on it, and you ran that up to, like, let's say 6,000 to 8,000, and then you got the credit cards, the smaller ones,
Right.
that you've been running up to. I think what C is saying is, rather than putting lump sum money into the bigger ones, put the bare minimum on the large amount.
Yes.
And take that extra money that you was trying to use on the major credit cards and just pay off the small one.
Yep.
Pay off that $400 credit card that you owe. And that way you ain't got to worry about that no more.
Yep.
And then you go work on that $1,000 credit card.
Yep.
And once you got that knocked off, then you go work on the $5,000 credit card. Then you knock that off and you keep working your way until you basically debt free.
Right.
Except for the major ones with the car note and the house.
Right. You knock off a lot of the little ones. You can have the excess cash. And they say, well, excess cash, yes, to pay up other things. Then you can up that 2% that you put in savings to 3%. The same thing with investment to 3%. Slowly up those things towards you, and even up your personal, how much towards you as well.
Right. Because you're going to be spreading all the cash that you're spreading out. Once you have all those, basically almost like, I don't want to use the word debt consolidation, but once you have all those credit cards knocked off, that's all that money, the minimum that you've been putting down on all these small things, they're not there anymore because they're all paid off.
Exactly.
So now all this extra money that you have, you could put it back into yourself or invest.
Word.
Exactly.
Word.
Exactly. And then see how you freed up some cash. And there's other ways you can free up cash as well. There's certain things that maybe you really don't need.
Like Netflix,
Yeah.
Hulu,
Yeah.
Disney Plus.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm supposed to be calling out y'all names like this, but it is what it is.
I mean, we call out their names. They just link us and we get a sponsor.
Easy.
We could get paid to do so.
But yeah, I mean, because I'll put it to you like this. I have a lot of streaming services,
Okay.
right? A lot. As a matter of fact, I think I have all the streaming services there is.
I see.
Hulu, all the ones that I just called out.
Right.
I got all of them, right? But I don't pay for all of them. Shh.
That's another episode.
You know what I mean? So
Right. So so the average person who's paying for those things, if they can find a way to figure out, do they really need it? How often do they use it? And eliminate it and knock off other debt. So you have to understand your spending habits. So like I said, look into service and ask yourself, can I live without it? And then eliminate it if you can. other things you have to ask yourself, do I need a fresh cut every week? Can I push it back to every other week or a month? Because all those things add up. Do I need these streaming services? When's the last time I used it? Do I need to wash my car every other day? Because that's an expense.
Unless you use the water bucket from the house.
Right. Exactly. Some things you can do yourself, but you decide not to do it because it's easier to pay someone else. And then you're taking away from yourself.
Yeah, hey man, look, I ain't gonna lie. I used to shave my own head, man, but now I'll pay somebody to do it. You're right. It's just sometimes you just don't feel like doing that stuff, man.
And that's money you can use right now. They going high on these.
Yo, I pay $50
Yeah,
for a cut, man.
They keep increasing it.
50. You right. Listen, man.
I'm like, yo.
I remember back in the day, man, we used to get cut for $5 in the garage. You remember that?
You ain't lying.
Yeah, man.
But I think nowadays they competing with hairdressers. Hairdressers make so much. It's like a 6-figure business being a hairdresser.
You could be right, but I don't think so.
Oh.
I just think the price of everything is going up. So they like, I might as well jack up too.
Yeah.
When last y'all went to go buy milk at the grocery store, man?
I don't drink cow milk.
A loaf of bread.
Don't drink milk.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's right. Them
Eggs.
prices going up.
Yeah, man. It's ridiculous out here.
Right.
And it started with gas.
Right.
Maybe.
You ask yourself, what can I do for myself where I don't have to pay? And just save it and put everything towards you. And then other things on your budget is like that you put on like grocery, gas, which you mentioned, and going out. If this is what you budgeted, you stay within your budget. And if you if let's say your grocery budget is $100 or $200 a month, and you already spent that, you have to learn to live without until next time.
Man, look, I just came to the realization that I spend almost $600 a month just eating out. And I'm talking about that include lunch, basically breakfast, lunch, and dinner. When I used to eat breakfast, I done scaled back. So now it's basically lunch and dinner. And I hurt my own soul
Right.
when I actually took a look at the credit card statement and seen all that was on it.
Right.
And how much it was. I hurt my own feelings.
It's cheaper to learn how to
Right.
cook.
I'm trying to tell you, man. And that's it. But that goes back to I don't feel like cutting my own hair.
Right.
I don't feel like getting on the stove, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't be, man. Look,
Well, you feel like working for the man forever?
hey, man. it ain't even that. But I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
I don't feel like getting on the stove.
It ain't the
man.
same like how CB frying up them Johnny cakes.
Right.
So,
You know what I'm saying? So
But honestly, there are other things that just eat at our money. And when I mention these things, you're gonna be like, you're right. But
no, I agree with you 100%, man. I was just thinking about, because you were saying that there are things that you could cut back on.
Right.
Yo, $600 a month just to eat, and it's not like the food is great,
Right.
healthy, you know what I
Right.
mean? Like, getting on the stove and cooking up something yourself, you know what I mean? I'm talking about.
Yeah, but once you limit yourself, then you're gonna say, do I really need this? Because I have to fall into this limit.
Right.
A budget.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm thinking about how much money I can save by not eating out so much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the main reason why I brought that up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And we talked about a lot, and it's a lot to digest. We'd even hit on the things that I said that can really take your money. And if you change your way of thinking on these particular things, you will save much more money. But save that for another episode.
Hey, man, it's the little things that count, though, man. You know what I'm saying? It's the little things. You start off, with the little things, man. You formulate that habit.
Right.
And next thing you know, man, you rich like C. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know about that.
Big time. All right. So as we wrap it up, what's the final thoughts? Jay, final thoughts?
Final thoughts is, man, look, like we said before in the last episode, man, just stop balling out all the time. You know what I mean? Think before you spend. Just be smarter with your money. Because at the end of the day, know who really wants to get up every day and go to work for somebody who don't appreciate you.
Not me.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You could drop dead today and they'll have your replacement by the end of the week. You know what I mean?
Point taken. Well
So,
said. Absolutely.
Yeah, just be smarter with your money, man.
Yep.
Big C.
No, Jay said a lot. He summed up a lot of things that we talked about. I'm just more so going to get into next time the real things that suck up our money.
The money leeches. I can't wait to hear it. Stay tuned. So we appreciate you for checking us out. Any questions, concerns, or comments, leave it in the comment section.
And that wraps up another thought-provoking episode of Conversations with Jock. If you want more engaging content and exclusive behind-the-scenes moments, make sure to follow us on Instagram at Jock Talks. And for the complete episodes and thrilling bonus content, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Jock Podcast. We appreciate your continued support and look forward to bringing you more inspiring conversations in the future. Stay curious, stay motivated, and keep striving for personal growth. Until next time.
This is conversation.